Today, let's think about the virtue of execution. If you would like to achieve your big dream, you have to execute it. Execution is the second virtue of 8 virtues of navigatorship. Keywords related to execution are job, work and life balance, moderation, resilience, habits, motivation, time, and competitive cooperation. 1. Execution. To implement actually. 2. Job. To keep a living for a certain period of time depending on his aptitude and ability to engage. 3. Work and life balance. Finding a balance between work and life. 4. Moderation. A state that is neither overdrawn and overturned nor shifted to one side. 5. Resilience. The power to turn trials into good luck. The power to make adversity and difficulty a stepping stone to leap. 6. Habit. A behavior that is learned spontaneously in the process of repeating an act for a long time. 7. Motivation. Giving stimulus to make life act. 8. Time. From a certain time till a certain time. 9. Frenemy partners. Cooperating while competing. Let's think about the definition of execution. Stop this video for about 10 minutes until you fill out the table, and start it again when you finish. The lexical concept of execution is to act actually. If you have a dream, a vision, and a strategy, you should do it. One small act is more important than 1,000 prayers. If a vision or strategy moving from the head suggests direction, the executing power that uses the hands and feet brings results. The one who lingers is always the last. What really matters is to do it right now. It is also possible to think while you run. A hunter who does not come out of the cave can never capture anything. What is the hardest thing for a mountain climber? Most will say that they conquer the summit. But surprisingly, it is said that it is most difficult for many people to cross over the threshold. In other words, if you leave the house, you will be able to end up climbing somehow. If you do not execute even if you have thought, you cannot make your performance. If you want to learn to ride a bicycle, you have to ride a bicycle. No matter how thoroughly you acquire theories, you cannot ride a bicycle or ski. As you repeatedly stumble and fall, you will be able to ride your bike without falling over. To drive a car well, it is not enough to get a driver's license. Anyone who has had a license for a long time without enough driving experience has a weaker skill than anyone who has driven even without a license. Zig Ziglar also said, "Do not wait until you think you should act aggressively. Act once. Then you would think that you did it really well." Confucius said that even if a king could be slow and unfamiliar, he should be agile. Everyone thinks and worries, but there are not many people who actually put them into practice. Execution, not thought, represents the result. Young Ui San, chairman of SoftBank, was admitted to a high school in San Francisco after a 6-month language course at the age of 17. On the first day of admission, he went through the textbook and he ran to the principal because he knew everything. His persuasion led to a second grade in a week, and a third grade in 2 weeks. When he became a third grader, he begged the principal to graduate. He had to pass the qualification examination to be eligible for graduation. There were so many words that he did not know in the examination. So he asked the examiner to allow him to use the English-Japanese dictionary because the examination is not to evaluate the language ability. He also asked the examiner to extend the test time. His request for perseverance was accepted and the test proceeded until 11 o'clock at night. On the second and the third day, it was over around midnight. A few days later he was notified of acceptance. What is surprising is such a bold idea. And the more surprising thing is that he put such an idea into practice. Think of it, then act. Now. Right away. Immediately. Increase your ability to apply yourself. When you look from a distance, even if it is a tough and high looking mountain, if you get close to the mountain, you must find a way to ascend. When it is difficult and hard, you should shout, I can do it. It is said that the word has all the power of carving an achievement. 98% of brain cells are said to be dominated by words. Now let's say we can do it and show it in action. Instead of scaring and shrinking, try and think again. Even if it seems impossible, the method will appear and you can get the results if you try. Trying instead of scaring and giving up is a shortcut to a happy success. What are the execution methods for execution? 1. I am an execution centrist who just does it when strategy and plans are established. 2. I am doing my favorite things and enjoying an exciting socially meaningful work. 3. When I work, I concentrate on work and maintain work and life balance well. 4. I try to keep moderate in my work or life rather than overzealousness or insignificance. 5. I have a resilience that makes all kinds of adversity and difficulties that come upon me a stepping stone to leap. 6. I write down a good habit list and a do not list. 7. I am a motivational expert who is good at events for myself and lives and works for myself. 8. I do not waste a day, 86,400 seconds of time, but I use it well. 9. I like competitive cooperation that raises the added value through fair competition and mutual cooperation. Think about what kind of job to select for about 10 minutes. Things to consider when choosing a job are: 1. Is it my favorite and exciting thing? 2. Does it fit well with my mission, vision, long term goal? 3. Will it help my continued growth in the future? 4. Is it socially meaningful and worthwhile? 5. Can I immerse myself in my passion? 6. Is it voluntary and active? 7. Are ideas and creativity exercised? 8. Do I make good use of my advantages? If you had one more, is it hard for robots to replace? Stop this video until you fill out the table, and start it again when you finish. Let's think about changing your habits for about 10 minutes. Habit to go and to stop, the habit that you should observe and the habit that you should abandon or divide it into go and stop. Stop this video until you fill out the table, and start it again when you finish. Let's think about how you utilize 24 hours for about 10 minutes. Stop this video until you fill out the table, and start it again when you finish. There are three kinds of time: physical chronos time, meaningful kairos time, and fruitful plur time. You are given 86,400 seconds a day. But if you do not use it all, the left time is gone away at night. For your health, happiness, and success, use time as much as possible. Do your best for the precious time. The lexical concept of execution is act actually. If you do not act, you will not get any results. Nike built a brand based on the ad text, just do it. This intense phrase highlights the problem of starting. The first step is the hardest law. Ju Young Chung, Hyundai founder, lived with the phrase, did you do it? If you are pessimistic or lazy, the goddess of chance turns your back. Life is better than always acting. In the age of chaos, you should have confidence and take the lead in your life. You must move firmly toward a dream with a clear purpose. Not all goal oriented people are successful, but most successful people are goal oriented. Life is your own and your responsibility to move forward or backward in race. To find it, you have to ask. It is not open until you tap. It is important to take a positive attitude to accept life. Dreams are important, and practice is also important. Thinking in your head and acting in your body should be in accord with each other. It is an action to derive performance. What determines performance is not who, but what do you do? Actions can be controlled by one's own will. This means that performance can be controlled by oneself. On the other hand, personality is hard to change. Nevertheless, many people look for a factor or key to success in the personality of a successful person because they want to succeed without having to work hard. If you want to expand your mind, stimulate your head and arm your mind, act on the living present. Happy success is not just about dreaming, so acting right now is one step closer. You should not be a good speaker. You need clearer action than abstract, primitive words. The great man has excellent determination and ability to execute. It is said that 2% of people who act cover 98% of people who do not act. 97% of people just think and speak, and 3% act. So looking at the stairs is not enough, but you must climb the stairs. If you see the first step, you have to go up. Dreams that action does not follow are only daydreams. You have to match words and actions. Consistency of speech and action is a fight against the harsh self that puts into practice what you promise yourself. To say is not hard, but to execute is difficult. There is a kind of promise in the words to be exchanged among people. A king does not say a promise that he cannot practice even though the promise can be said in words. Words are instruments of human thought, and are indicators of the intellectual level and culture of the speaker, as well as a social promise. To keep the promise is the practice. More important is action, not words. If words and behaviors are different, behavior will win. When words and actions are different, the action side always refers to the truth. There is no perfect preparation for the world. Once you have 60 to 70%, start work immediately. The work procedure is scheduling, or prioritizing work. Help others when you finish your work. Stress should not be stacked up to explode, but diverge normally. The mind that cares about the opponent is passed on to action. Any plant sprouts from seeds. Just as you cannot be born in this world without seeds, our actions are also derived from invisible seeds called thoughts. If there were no seeds of thought, no action would appear. It means that both conscious action and unconscious action result from thought. In the dictionary, passion has two meanings. One is passion and the other is ordeal. In other words, it is an act of throwing the body generously. In short, passion requires action. The expression that I have a passion, but the situation does not allow it, is wrong. A person with genuine passion will act. Move and practice as you say. A person who does not act is a person only the mouth of whom is alive. Passion requires the act of throwing the body generously. Passion is a word which cannot exist without action. A person who lives with a passion for action is a person who always realizes the possibility for a wonderful life. Those who have achieved a happy success are those who have practiced their whole body, saying that they will do not someday, but now. Create a do list and get into the habit of dealing with dreams. Then deal with urgent and important things. It is not too late to do ordinary things after awful things, urgent things, and important things. If you set a goal, do not take time and move on to your goal immediately. Then the resistance you meet will become smaller and your mind will become more and more active, and the possibility of achieving your goals will also increase. Please refer to the three mottos of Japan Electric Computer. Do it now, do it without fail, and do it until completed. Occupation's lexical concept is to work continuously for a certain period of time according to his aptitude and ability to maintain a livelihood. People live most of their lives as professionals. Even if you look at the daily routine, you should work late into the evening even if you go to work early in the morning. Of course, you use holidays and vacations to spend time with your family and have a variety of institutional devices for work and life balance WLB, but it is hard to keep home without work. Therefore, you should choose a job that you want to do. And if you choose one to do, you have to work hard. You can make the work a festival. Few people eat and live without work. If you have to do something, you should laugh happily and cheerfully. If you work comfortably, it gives a good impression to people around you. And it is better to go out on your own before you do it. If you do what is instructed, it is someone else's job to do, but what you do on your own is your job. You should concentrate on what you do well, not looking elsewhere. But before that, you have to think hard about whether it will be a valuable thing in the future. It is important to do the right thing and do it right. To do the right thing means to see the direction first before working. If you think it matches the direction of 5 years later, 10 years later, 20 years later, even the end of your life, then you may think it right. Yamamoto Shinji said that you should not be busy in learning, skill, or trifle knowledge in work muscle, but increase work muscle strength that you can do right away whatever is given to you to accomplish. The big cycle of muscle work takes about 7 years on average, and he criticized that if you change your job after you just taste the job for only 2 or 3 years, you are not different from a shameless slave. It is not just filling in the time, it is a real job to create real added value, and the basic muscles of the work should be solid. If you enjoy work, life itself becomes play, but if you think you are tired, you must be in labor. If you have to do anything, you should have fun and excitement. If someone has to do something, you would rather take the initiative first. If you do not do what you like, you cannot touch the pleasure and success. Confucius also said that those who learn cannot win those who like learning, and those who like learning cannot win those who enjoy learning. You have to enjoy work. If you do not have the ability to do what you like to do, nurturing talented people would also be another way. In sports and entertainment, there are always managers and supervisors to plan and support them. Professor Robert Reich, who served as U.S. Secretary of Labor, described it as shrink in a book called Rich Slaves. The talented person is called geek, and shrink is the one who creates the added value by making talented persons well. Geek and shrink are in symbiosis with each other. It is because they do well and complement each other. The relationship between an entertainment company and an entertainer proves this. If you are a talented geek, you have only to work hard on yourself. On the contrary, if you are a shrink, you can grow a good talent. This is a way of living with each other. You are happy only with the fact that you can move and do things. There are not many good jobs now. It is a reality to be recognized as a person who is blessed only by the fact that there is a job. With the growth age of low employment, 1% of economic growth can increase employment of about 30,000 people. With 2% economic growth, only 60,000 new jobs are created. In fact, those who graduate from college or high school and come out on the job front are 500,000 to 600,000. Unless they have special circumstances, it is nothing but receiving a license for being jobless. Work itself is a foster, a perfection of personality. All work, labor itself is a spiritual discipline that teaches keeping credit by a social contract, and the work itself is the same as cultivating oneself morally. As the perfection of personality is more precious than money, you should devote yourselves hard without expecting a return, even if it is not profitable. When you think of work as a means of sustenance, it is literally just painful labor. But when you are committed to work with a sincere heart, it becomes a play, bringing dreams, happy success, and abundance. The lexical concept of work and life balance is finding work and life balance. Work is important, but you have to find a balance with life. Work and life balance WLB refers to a condition in which workers feel they are doing well in both work and personal life. The reason for the increased interest in WLB is the efforts of companies to secure excellent talents, motivate employees, and improve productivity through them. WLB promotes women's economic activity above all, contributing to solving the shortage of corporate manpower due to low fertility, and harmonizing work and family plays a catalyst for helping women of advanced labor force advance into society. We often have to give up our personal lives because we have a job to survive and we have to make money for a better life. From dawn until late at night, most of the workers have to run around in order to earn a living. We work hard for a better life, but we do not judge whether life is getting better or happier. In order to earn more money, the lives of individuals and families become more and more intense. Considering a salaried man sleeping tired in a bus full of people in the morning rush hours, it could be an unreasonable demand to do both work and life well. Some people may argue that looking for satisfaction in personal life and family life in a situation of living hand to mouth day by day is rather a luxury. There are some people saying with mocking the WLB that office workers who wake up early in the morning, going to the office by riding on a bus or subway full of people between being asleep and awake, spending a very hard day, and coming back home and going to bed late at night, or finding proper time for spending happy hours with their family or their own affluent lives, is a story of a country far away. You have to survive in the fierce competition, and there is no other choice but you being a slave or a work addict, whether you want or not. It is becoming increasingly difficult to make a living, to live a life, and to do both. There is a struggle to make money and a struggle to balance the rest of life. To make a lot of money, you have to sacrifice the life of an individual, so that the balance of work and life becomes out of balance. However, if you do not work to improve your quality of life, the problem is that your overall quality of life drops. The balance of work and life is not a personal matter but a social problem and a corporate problem. If workers do not maintain a happy life, they may not be able to contribute to corporate performance. Supporting the happy lives of workers is one of corporate social responsibilities. In the end, a corporation is a social organization that can gain the fruit of growth when workers work hard and are happy. The success or failure of the WLB should be based on the change of the management strategy of the company into the people. If you recognize people as a means and have a management strategy focused on efficiency, WLB is hard to achieve. For the successful completion of the WLB program, the CEO's respectful management philosophy and the worker's job calling sense must coexist. The 6 success factors of WLB presented by the Samsung Economic Research Institute are 1. To consider the culture and to understand the laws and regulations of domestic and foreign countries. 2. To create a link with company performance. 3. To design a system that meets the company's circumstances and conditions. 4. To identify the needs of internal members objectively. 5. To check if the real benefits are given. And 6. To spread the basic spirit of the WLB program within the organization. The balance of work and life is also nationally important. An environment should be created to generate a lot of good jobs and enjoy a leisurely life while working for less time. In a society where people can survive only if they have to work from dawn to late night to the end, WLB is just a treat for those who have. Charles Handy, the author of Elephants and Fleas, says that to build a portfolio of balanced work is far from earning money and not getting the job done, but doing things that are important to life, for example, family work, volunteering, learning, should not be neglected. In terms of life cycle, 4 types of work are organized differently for each stage. Handy says that making money in his 30s in his life was overwhelming. Of course, 15 years there before, it would have been all about studying. The retirees make the difference between earning money and the rest. But is it possible to start a different type of work by giving up one job? A good portfolio life is a mix of all 4 types of work together. Being too busy is said to be evil. Capitalism does not leave people alone but makes them move into a storm and move on without a reason. The richer the country is, the faster the people move. The speech is fast and the accent is high. Fast moving is spread like a virus. So they live hurriedly to move faster. If they are not busy, they get anxious. They will be chased now and will continue to drive. You have to find time to look at yourself. That way you can see your work and your life in a balanced way. Too busy is bad.